Hey, y'all, I am gonna be reacting to PuraOre Pride of Orange, episode 12, and I will be watching it off of Funimation's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in 1-0 go. Alright, I'm pumped up for this, because apparently I think this is the season finale, which I hope they can go in by having an absolutely awesome final match. Looks like they scored a second one already. That's where they're going to be wrong because the others can shoot pretty well. They probably just need to get in sync first. At least seeing enough of what Maya's in, she looks in the same class as you here. Just off of the feet she's pulled off. Yeah, I love the Ted's music. Yo, this is getting hype. Fight, don't fight. Fight. Yes, I fucking love this track. Sona, oh, okay, man. This opening is addicting. As much as the series has done things that piss me off sometimes, the opening song is not one of them. Like, at all. So, hell to the fuck yeah. Now, if anything, when it comes to my final rating in the series, it is going to be affected by the fact that they haven't really had a lot of well-done hockey matches throughout the series. But if they can, at the very least, really stick this one, it could boost it a whole lot for me. So I hope they don't fuck it up like they did with a lot of sports anime this year. Like Farewell, My Dear Kramer really fucked up almost every match it had. And then that Wave Surfing Let's Go series also fucked up almost every match it did too. But this series could at the very least do something of itself if not only it sticks this episode, but if it can get a season 2. Because there's still that Mammy plot point that they still have to work on. Okay, now it's back. Damn, the choreography is amazing, especially the hair movement. Now, this stuff, y'all, is what I wanted to see way earlier in the series, like the detail in the animation. But hey, I mean, I guess better late than never, you know? And it's nice getting to see rewarding bits like this where she passes to Monaka here. Damn, she was so close. Yeah. That was a good bit by Aya there, considering that she was the slowest. It's nice to see her actually able to help on the defensive end there. That was satisfying. Oh, haha. Finally. But now our girls have to counterattack now and score some points. But all considered, that was some good defense, though. I mean, I'm not going to blame for crowd for not being too hyped. I mean, even though they did a great defensive play there, they still got to catch up. to the amount of points that Snow White scored so far. And I love this because symbolically, this puts together what Yu's learned when it comes to collaborating with other people. Now she's going to be forced into a spot where she has to, instead of building herself, she has to build up others to achieve victory. I fucking love this. Yes! And that was satisfying because not only was that moment well animated, they tied. It was Monaka that did the shot. And it was set up by Yu simultaneously, showing you how much of a long way Yu's become too. Because the holder wouldn't have been able to do something like that so easily. And so of Monaka too, she's putting in a lot of work. Moments like that will really make sports anime satisfying. Because it wasn't just an epic sports moment for the anime, but it was also a nice character moment for you too. They've got a point. I do feel like that way when watching sports matches sometimes. I like this. The ones where Yoko's charisma actually led to nicer things here. I like it. They're taking advantage of the fact that they only rely on Maya. Ah! So close. And now it's going to come to bite them back in the ass where Snow White relied way too much on Maya. Because now you can tell it's screwing them. Oh my. Ah. Good. I'm glad the referee at least. Yeah, what she did there was a little bit uncalled for, but hey, if the girls can benefit from that, then what's matters the most at the end of the day. Hello, Elysion Unknown. Hope I pronounced her name right. And she's got a point, but yeah, it's definitely not the best place to be bringing that up. But I understand why she brought it up, though. People can be prideful sometimes. And I'm noticing, too, the girls' bodies look a lot more slim. They don't look as heavy as they did a few episodes ago. Like, you can definitely tell the animators here have more consistency to the character sheets. Because here it feels like they can move with much more swiftness. It'd be cool if Rico was the one who made the score, though. I love the way she sounds so cheeky Yoko when she says that. I love her. Again, she oozes charisma on almost every bit she's in. She'd be perfect if it wasn't for the whole stupid, oh yeah, want y'all to have a dance too. Like, she'd be a perfect character if it wasn't for that bullshit. But Yoko's still a good character, though. Ah, shit. But I like this because since Irene knew you well, she was able to predict that. Shit, they've only got 12 seconds. Whoa. Damn. Oh. Ah. Ah, they couldn't take advantage. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Well, we'll just have to score with Maya there. Woo! They're one of the instances where background characters have really damn good commentary in a sports anime. It makes it more intense. I kind of like this because at least in that bit there, with the girls not being able to score on Snow White, shows that the other members are competently skilled, even if they rely on Maya too much. So credit to the writing staff here. Probably to scout some of the other players. I mean, it makes sense. You've got Maya and you here. And all that too. I could see why they want to watch a match like this. Like, no joke. But that's nice though. At least you're getting build up for future seasons if they do happen. That's a big if though. Hey, at least she finally is owning up to it. And is mentioning it now. And hey, you know what? Ree's a strong person in owning up and realizing that. You know? But at the same time, though, you quitting Snow White ended up being good for her in the long run. Aww. And at least you realize that she was a little bit abrasive back in the day. And at the end of the day, that's what matters the most, that they're still playing hockey. And honestly, here, it kind of makes you hard to root for any side. Obviously, I'm going to want our Dream Monkeys to win because that's the side of all the characters I love. But it actually did a good job of making Snow White a bit more lovable here. At least through Ari, anyway. And seeing that she owned up to her mistake, and so did you. It's going to be nice to see her operate without that emotional burden now. Oh, the way she says arigato is so cute. Oh. Damn. That's a lot of character going into our girl here. But you know what? At least they're trying their best now to improve their standing, and that's what matters the most at the end of the day. Okay, at least they're admitting their faults now. And it's nice to get to see Maya's perspective on that, on being relied on, where she wouldn't mind, but she understands the feelings of the others too. That's actually really cute. Kind of wish they would have given us more Maya characterization, though, because of the Snow White feels like Ari's the only one that has any really good characterization. But hey, I guess it's better than nothing. Oh yeah, this track definitely feels like it's going to be a moment where magic's going to be made. Hmm. And that's the right mindset to have at that moment. I like this. Just the fact that hockey's changed all their lives for the better and how it's changed their lives. Now, this really does give it a really good season finale vibe. And it's nice to, as they're playing, we're hearing their inner monologues too. It makes the match feel a bit more intense. I wish they would have movements though while they're thinking all this, because some of the best sports animes have movements. But that's nice to see the vibration of the puck as it hits her body. That is beautiful. I love the way it's fall slow motion. Yes, they won. All right, now that is an epic match right there. Don't get me wrong, a bit sad that this is the first time this series has had a satisfying match. But again, better late than never. Because it is really the first time where I felt like a match went through start to finish without any rushing any major portions of the match. That's where I got to give my full-on compliments to the match. And the animation quality was really damn beautiful too. I mean, I guess they spent all their budget on the match. Because holy shit, yeah, a lot of the celebrations are done in stills. But you know what? As long as the match looked great, I'm not going to complain too much. Because I've seen quite a few sports anime fuck up their final match. So it's nice to finally see one finally not do that for a change. Feels like I'm in a different dimension seeing this finally happen. I like how Riko's buying her fucking medal. That's cute. And Amanako's holding the certificate. Oh no. They should be dead tired. Should they really be dancing like this? Well, especially Aya, because she received a big hit by Maya during the match. I'm just saying. No, I'm saying that the dancing sequence is really well. No, it's amazingly animated. Like, it's beautifully animated. Hell, even looks better than some of the idol anime I'm watching, like Selection Project. This is a better dance number than almost any dance sequence in Selection Project, because here it's full 2D beauty. But from a logical standpoint, it makes no sense because the girls were dead tired. Literally, they went through a rough match, and now we're seeing them fucking dance with full on energy. It breaks immersion. And I told y'all for multiple weeks the whole dance thing was going to have problems narratively because any athlete that goes through a rough match is going to be drained. So it makes no sense to how they're able to immediately do the victory dance. You know? Beautiful scene regardless, though, from a visual standpoint. Like, I'm not going to diss on the animators. I'm more of dissing on the writing staff here. Because it's like, who thought that was a good idea? Because it ain't. And I've played sports for fun. They're fucking tiring. And I work for a living. You get fucking drained. You're not going to have the energy to want to dance like that in those cases. I'm just saying. Nice little recap, though, of all the other events, though, while the 80 credits are playing. I'm assuming the after credits are going to end with the Manly's reaction to Dream Monkeys winning. That's going to be my guess. I just hope the series can announce a season 2 at the end of this episode, because that would be hype as fuck. Because this one actually does need a season 2, because there's a lot of unresolved plot points where if it ends just like this with no more episodes, it's going to be unsatisfying. So hopefully the end credits has something. Because out of the anime that have ended today, only Komi Can't Communicate got a season 2 instantly after it ended. Which it pulled off with Vampire Dice and No Time also pulled off too. And saying that, the lyrics are really, really good, though. I actually love the singing behind it. Now, if I had to rate this episode overall, I'm actually going to give it a 9 out of 10. It was great. The only weakness was, again, the idols bits, because it's like, realistically, they shouldn't have enough stamina to be able to fucking dance. But save for that, though, it had what I really wanted from the start of the series. A satisfying ice hockey match. You had character development for Eri because she apologized to you, and vice versa for you. She apologized to Eri. We get a full completion of Yu's character arc when she's a playmaker, like when she assisted Monaka scoring the first point, and then seeing Monaka get the win was beautiful. So there was a lot of character development here too to that. And it was nice getting to see some Maya characterization where she doesn't mind being relied on, but she understands Ari's perspective. And I love how the Snow White members acknowledge that they relied on Maya too much. So there was a lot of character development here. So that's what I thought. The character writing was great. The visuals were amazing, especially during the idol sequences and the ice hockey sequences. Voice acting was fantastic, and that's why I thought the episode itself was pretty damn fantastic. I loved it. And saying that, this is the first time I felt in the series had a super strong episode like this, though, where I'm like, oh, damn, this is amazing. Okay, so hopefully they show, I'm assuming Mammy next. Or is it going to be a flash forward? Huh. So heads off on this note then. Ah, that is such a tease. That's it. What the? Okay. What the fuck? That okay. I was all happy until literally the fucking did the writers just do what I think they did? No. No fucking way. These motherfuckers didn't just say, play the game to continue the story. Well, fuck you. Fuck you, writers. What the fuck? So y'all aren't even going to give me the illusion that there's a chance of a season 2 for the anime? You're just going to be like, well, fuck y'all. Play the game? What the fuck? Is that your response? Shit. That's the first time I've seen an anime so blatantly say, yeah, just play the game for a sequel. That's the first time I've seen it so fucking blatant. Talk about a lack of pride. Wow, I was about to be positive. I was like, yeah, all right, I like the vibes. Then this final fucking last bit in the episode was like, oh yeah, fuck you, play the game. Oh, really now? Oh, are you fucking kidding me? It went with that. It fucking went with that. Bullshit is all I gotta say. Fucking bullshit. That ending is absolutely insulting in every sense of the word. If they would have just taken away that last bit, I'd at least had an illusion that there'd have been a chance for a season 2. Nope. This final episode fucking... Oh, man, it opened a lot of can of worms right there. I've never seen that in anime. Or maybe I have. I just don't remember from my memories. But that's probably one of the first few times where I've seen an anime be so blatant and being like, oh, yeah, fuck you. Now play the game. I mean, my goodness, if you're gonna advertise the fucking game, be subtle about it. Don't just fucking openly put it in our faces saying that if you want to complete the experience of the anime, you gotta play the game. Because that gives your anime, because now that just shows us that y'all never even intended to make this anime a full experience. That shows at least me as a viewer that this was just meant as an advertisement for the game, and that's it. It wasn't meant to stand on its own 2 feet. And that's where the last bit of the episode, where it says play the game, really started my experience. You writers didn't have to do that. That was one of the most intense fuck yous I've ever seen. I'm still gonna rate this episode 9 out of 10, but the series rating I had, I mean, I wasn't gonna give the series a super high rating, but damn, that fucking changes everything for me. Now if I had to rate this series on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I'm honestly going to give this series a 4.75 out of 10. And I'm only going to give it a higher rating if it gets a season 2. If it gets a season 2, then I'll bump my grade to a fucking 5.5 out of 10 for above average, or a 6 out of 10, depending on how season 2 goes. But man, that is one of the most biggest blatant fuck yous I've ever seen from an anime company. And let me explain why that's a fucking problem. You have so many plot points. You've got the whole they gotta go up against Mammy. We got the whole fact that the girls are going to be recruited to play in the world stage. You got all these interesting plot points that we're never going to see a resolution in anime. Before all say, but anime came, man, you can play the game. I'm like, well, then at that point, I should become a game reviewer, because that's not something the anime did. So I'm not going to give anime credit for being lazy as fuck and resolving its stuff through a fucking game. That is massive laziness there. That is no excuses. So that's where, yeah, I'm going to give this series a below average grade, because it has so many unresolved plot points. It's like you can't even tell anyone that wants to watch ice hockey anime to watch this series, because for the most part, this season had issues because most of the ice hockey matches in the series were rushed. Save for, again, this one, because the match against Snow White was given a lot of love and care over this week and the previous week. This is the only time where I felt the match was satisfactory. And that's why even if the series would have not had the fuck you ending, I would have still given it like a 5 or a 5.5, but that fuck you ending really drops it levels for me. And that's my issue with the series. That it didn't have great matches until the final bits, and then the whole premise of them dancing makes no sense. It still doesn't. It's just there for the girls to look cute. They were well animated, but my goodness, though, this is sports anime. It takes away from the sports elements of it if it's focusing on stuff like that, which is a damn shame. Because when this series just got its head in gear and it just focused on the ice hockey bits, this series is really, really fun, as demonstrated again for most of this episode and the previous episode. Now, speaking of which, when it came to the characters in the series overall, I'd say Yoko was a standout. I liked Yu and Manaka, but they could have probably done a bit more in exploring the other characters, though. Because even though, yes, there was detailed characterization for them, we never really got to see Cal, Rico, or the other girl have much interactions with the opposing team. So that's where sometimes I felt there was some missed opportunity. Because the series really shines when you've got characters with relationships with other characters in the opposing team talking, which is one of the issues I have with the series, where sometimes you'd have the girls go up against new teams, but it would rush whenever it would have the girls confront new teams. So that's my issues to the series. Sometimes its pacing felt a bit off, and they rushed through the ice hockey matches for a good portion of the series. Visually, the series actually had, for the most part, good visuals. And the last 2 episodes had great visuals. So from a production standpoint, I honestly don't have any complaints in the series. And the artwork I thought was nice. Do they look like Love Live character ripoffs? They kind of do, but I love the Love Live art style, so I'm not going to complain about that. I like the Love Live art style. But in saying that, the writing, that was a weakness. They really could have done better with the ice hockey sequences. And not just that, but it's a damn shame that we didn't get to see Mammy at least a bit in this last episode. And speaking of which, the series does get rid of a bit of its tension, knowing that the girls achieve big victories on the world stage. Because any moment that the series has of tension is kind of dissipated when we know the girls are going to succeed in the long run. So those are some of the downsides of the series, where it takes away a little bit of its own attention away, knowing that we do know they're going to be recruited successfully into the world stage. And saying that, yes, I was entertained by the series, but all those elements and its lack of closure is why I'm going to rate it a 4.75 out of 10, which again, if it gets a season 2, I'll give it 5.5 or a 6 out of 10, which for me is above average. But that's only if it does get a season 2. Because it did not help that literally the writers said, play the game. I'm like, bravo, writers. Bravo. That was one of the most dickish ways of ending off the season. And no one's going to prove me otherwise. That is a dick move. And no matter what anyone says, I'm not going to get away from that stance. But yeah. Damn shame that at the end of the year, the only good sports anime that was consistent from start to finish was SK the Infinity. That's kind of sad that this year hasn't been good to sports anime at all for the most part. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later if you come back for more. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching my video. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.